What's up, my pickles and picklets? It's Spontaneously Pickled here, and today we are reviewing the October 13th, 2023 edition of Smackdown. Now, before we get started, I first wanted to mention that this week I actually watched Smackdown twice because I was actually watching one live stream from a channel called Attitude Era Mike. He was doing a live stream, which is really cool, by the way. Shout out to him. I hope he doesn't mind a smaller channel shouting him out, but you know, he's a really awesome dude, really kind, really cool, fun to talk to, an amazing stream to watch. So definitely please support him if you can. You know, I definitely think that that's a really cool channel to check out as well for wrestling content as well. And I think that we as a wrestling community should always stick together as much as possible. I know I'm a small channel, so who's going to go there, right? Besides like maybe one or two people. But still, if you're seeing this, definitely check his channel out. I'll link it in the description too. I'm sorry, Mike. I hope that's okay if you ever see this video. Nonetheless, SmackDown starts off with the Cena segment. Basically, Cena opens SmackDown, welcoming the fans, but then immediately the Bloodline comes out. Now, firstly, I gotta say one thing. When Reigns came out, it was kind of weird to see Cena and Reigns in the ring again. Because then I look at Cena, right, and it's like I think about it, and like I see the past, I'm like, holy cow! Now you gotta keep in mind, I'm an Attitude Era wrestling fan. So back when I was watching wrestling like more heavily, Cena was the now, essentially, not to do the A-Town Down like reference from a few months back, but he was the now, and like, you know, people like The Rock were the past. So it was really kind of cool to see like that contrast now. Of course, the fans cheer Cena, and then Roman Reigns interrupted saying like, hey, you know, you're cheering Cena, but he's basically a coward because Cena came back, but Reigns took his leave and was using the word GOAT, his word GOAT apparently, when he's the GOAT himself. So that was kind of like Reigns trying to start some beef with Cena. Reigns then tells him to leave the ring, or they're gonna make him leave. Cena then mentions that there's a lot of anticipation for tonight, and he acknowledges Roman Reigns, but he says that he's not here to challenge him because he hasn't earned it. But then he mentions he knows someone who did earn it, and then all of a sudden, who comes out? None other than L.A. Knight. Yeah, he comes out, and then basically Cena passed the mic as if he was passing a torch, in my opinion. Tonight, and the night opens up with his love. Let me talk to ya. He then came in asking Reigns questions, like a bunch of questions, like basically like, you know, just a bunch of random questions. It's almost like he's acting like he didn't know who he was, which that was kind of cool. I felt like he was really like showing Reigns like, I don't care who you are, essentially, in my opinion. And he said that right now he's the man that Reigns is the only man standing in his way right now. He then mentions that Reigns has been sitting on his ass for the last few months with the gold on his waist, while and a lot of things have changed since, and that was getting bigger during that time. Reigns then started talking, and he sarcastically says that he is proud of him because they say his name now, and he mentions that what makes Knight think he could ever even step in the ring with him, and asks him who he thinks he is. Knight then mentions that he's the fastest rising star in SmackDown history, which is true. Then Jimmy Uso comes out of nowhere and attacks Knight from behind, but then Knight quickly disposes him and tosses him out. Knight, Reigns and Solo didn't do a stare down with each other. Then they go out the ring, and then Reigns and Solo go out the ring, and then Reigns to tell Solo, forget about Cena, handle him. So then Solo goes to the apron, and they kind of like talk trash, like look each other down, and then Solo mentions Solo versus Knight tonight. Other Knight then comes in and mentions that to the fans. He grabs the mic and says, if you don't understand moron, Solo basically challenges him to a match tonight, which he accepts basically, and then Knight says he's gonna mop him up basically, which I think is pretty true. Next up, we have Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes. Now, Pretty Deadly does like this hilarious interest playing on hashtag Elton Strong. Now, the match starts and Butch immediately starts like joint manipulation of Elton Prince, and then he tags in Ridge Holland, and then Elton immediately runs and tags in Kit Wilson, which I'm guessing they're playing on the whole idea that Ridge Holland injured him. Butch then gets tagged in after Ridge controls the match for a bit, and then gets Irish whipped into the turnbuckle, but then by Kit, but then kicks Elton Prince. That's Butch getting Irish whipped. Butch then German suplexes Kit Wilson. Then he kicks him, and then he rolls out. Then the Brutes do like the 10 beats of the Baron, like on both of them, like Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. Kit Wilson eventually then takes control. Then Butch jumps on him, doing like a joint manipulation once again, and then he tags in Elton. Then Elton clothesline Butch off while he was getting slammed by Kit. That was like a weird thing, because Butch like jumped on him essentially, and like he was like doing joint manipulation. Then Butch Elton did like a clothesline, and then like Kit just slammed him down. So that was really a cool combo. Elton then tries to go for the 10 beats of the Baron and gets like a few of them off, but then gets his hands caught by Butch eventually, and then he does a little bit more joint manipulation on him. Kit and Elton then take control while Butch is down, and then they do like this funny like Elton Strong mode where Elton like grabs Kit's hand and lifts him up on the apron, which is really funny. Ridge then gets tagged and takes control, doing a gut bust to Kit and then a slam to Elton, like slamming Elton onto Kit itself. Elton then goes to the top rope, but then gets lifted up for like a gorilla press and then slammed down, which Kit broke up at it too. Bush then comes in to help with a shining wizard, but then Elton reverses him and slams him into the spine, like it slams his spine into the apron. Ridge then slams Elton, but then Elton exaggerates his leg injury, and then the referee starts checking up on him to make sure he's okay. Ridge was like, what the hell's going on? But then Ridge eventually comes in to see what's actually going on more. Like, first guy, I think he was like, okay, he's getting tired of it. But then all of a sudden, Kit comes on the apron and kicks Ridge from out of nowhere. Then all of a sudden, Elton instantly recovers as expected. Then he does a surprise roll up for the win. Then we have a Carlito segment backstage. Basically, Kyla Braxton welcomes Carlito back and asks him what would he describe his return as, and mentions that, and of course he mentions the one word he always says, cool. Lashley then comes in and then mentions that his return is amazing, but last time we saw him on TV or something like that, he was like, Lashley was pretty much beating him up, but that was a while ago, like bygones speak out, so allegedly. But I'm not bygones, like water, well technically because water under the bridge. Carlito then proposes his first match on SmackDown being against Bobby Lashley. Then Lashley was replying to him, saying like, "Oh, I'm in a suit and everything." The Street Profits came out of nowhere and attacked Carlito from behind. Then the staff came out to help out to stop Lashley from hitting him with a chair, because they had to lift him up and hit him with a chair. But then Lashley mentions, and then they throw him down. But then Lashley mentions, make sure you don't bite off more than you can chew. Afterwards, the staff in the LWO are checking on Carlito, but then Bayley comes in saying, "Ding dong, hello. What is this pity party going on here?" Sounds like she was in kind of similar subject to what happened on Monday, by the way, the pity party. And then she mentions that she needs to do a celebration for Io for retaining the title. Then Zelina mentions that they have better things to do than worry about Bayley being a groupie to Io. Pierce then gets frustrated with both of them and then tells Charles, the referee, to escort them to the ring if they want to fight so they can fight. Next up, we have the first Bloodline segment of the night. Reigns is asking Jimmy what's he up to? What is he doing? Jimmy then implies that he's trying to be like him and handle things that when they don't look right. Reigns mentions, so you're playing quarterback. If so, if you were the QB, what would you do? Jimmy says, get Jay. Reigns then mentions that Jay is old news, but the fact that he is running around with those undisputed tag team championships with Cody Rhodes, of all people, is a bit of a slap in the face to the Bloodline. Reigns then says no more distractions or audibles and asks Jimmy to handle it. Jimmy says, yeet, which I wonder if that's some kind of hint of something that's going to happen in the future. I don't think Jimmy's fully in the Bloodline, but then Reigns clearly says he doesn't like that. So they're definitely playing on that. Next up, we have Bayley versus Zelina Vega. Bayley teases how short Zelina is in the beginning of the match by lifting her hand to the air like this, which the camera, come on, camera, catch it, camera, catch it for the love of God. Well, that's just not gonna work. Okay, well, there you go. That half a second. Catch it. You're gonna pause the frame there. And then Zelina basically kicks her hand, like punches her, and then does this little grappling move where she kicks her arm, which was kind of cool. And she also lands like a Bayley then lifts her basically. She tosses her into the turnbuckle, then does like a nice like flipping hip toss kind of thing. Vega then tries a Frankenstein, but then Bayley clotheslines her, and then elbow drops her for it too. Bayley then tries to do a Bayley to belly, but Zelina rolls her up, but she kicks out immediately, and then Vega kicks her and then lands her top rope. No, lands her on the top rope and does a 619. Like she lands not on the top, she lands her onto the ropes, like the thing that they would do, but on the lowest ropes, and does a 619, which I think one of the guys said it was like a 419, which is really funny. Dakota then tries to attack Vega, but Vega dodges and then puts the top rope and does a meteor on Bayley for a 2 count. Vega tries to do like a code red, but then Io gets on the apron and she does a 619 kick to Io's stomach. But then Bayley then knees Zelina when she comes back into the ring, and then she does a rose plant for the 3. Damage Control then attacks Zelina, but then Charlotte comes out to the save, and then that makes Damage Control kind of run away. Now this match was really good because it was short and sweet. Nothing too crazy, but it was, Zelina did get her attacks and such, but she looked strong. That's the word I'm looking for. She looked strong. And also, obviously, as always, the tag team interrupts. The only thing is that, again, I feel like Io being involved in all these interruptions as a champion makes it kind of weird. I don't know, it just feels a little bit weird. Because even with like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, right, you don't really see Roman Reigns interrupting. Yes, Sokoa would come up back in the day when it was the tag champ, like Jay and Jimmy, the Usos, but not Reigns, at least from what I've seen. Maybe I could be misremembering. You guys let me know in the comments down below. But I'm almost sure that the big champ didn't come out. And technically, when you think about it, Io's the big champ. So it makes it look like I said again, I think she looks like a lackey in this group. And I like Io a lot, by the way. So I'm not really keen on that. Next up, we have Triple H's announcement. Basically, Triple H credits goes in. He credits Adam Pearce for his job overseeing Raw, both Raw and SmackDown. He thanks him, and then he mentions that Adam will be getting a promotion to new general manager of Monday Night Raw, and SmackDown will have its own GM. Which, by the way, would that really be a demotion? Well, I mean, I guess having less responsibilities and more pay is a promotion, right? So, congratulations, Adam Pearce. But anyway, before Triple H can introduce the SmackDown general manager, of course, Dirty Dom comes out. Now, while coming out, Dirty Dom's complaining about Fastlane and how it was not a successful event like Triple H said he was earlier, because the Judgment Day got screwed out of their titles. Dom pretty much then predictions for the dream match and was complaining that there's a title defense tonight because of the open challenge that Cody and Jay did, which was accepted, of course. Triple H and jokingly says he always thought that they piped the booze in, playing on the fan theory, of course, again breaking the fourth wall. And then he says, "Wow, like since he was there, and like he could see it." So Triple H then mentions that Dom needs to talk to the GM of SmackDown and introduces Nick Aldis as the general manager of SmackDown. Nick Aldis mentions how excited he is of having the new role, and he shakes everybody's hand and shakes Dom's hand and says, "I'm a big fan of your dad," which is really funny. He then mentions that the exchange that Cody made when moving Jay to Raw, and then he introduced the actors of the new SmackDown Superstar, which he's about to do. But then Dirty Dom comes in and mentions he doesn't care about the new SmackDown Superstar. And then funny enough, Triple H passing the mic saying, "I don't think yours is working," again breaking the fourth wall, and he hands Dominic his mic. And then Dom says that he has to, but he tells Dom, Triple H tells Dom that he needs to deal with Nick Aldis on that one. Then Kevin Owens comes out, and then Owens into the ring, and Dom rushed at him, and then he got stunned. So that was really funny. Now, I believe that they are going to give them a championship match on Monday, from what I've seen later on. Again, which is cool. I just hope that the Bloodline doesn't win, not the Bloodline, the Judgment Day doesn't win it at this time, because I just feel like they did that with Dom. I don't think they need to keep repeating the same formula. Like, we already know they cheat to win. It's fine. That's cool. But like, let's have some change for a little bit. I like heels too, and I think that's awesome when they do that. But like, if every time they win the title match again right off the bat, it just seems kind of like overdone. I mean, it's only happened once, from what I understand, right? But I just think that like, let's let somebody else have it, especially Jimmy, Jay, and Cody. They have a really cool chemistry, and I want to see that like thrive for a little bit. To be honest with you, not forever, but for a few months at least. Anyway, we have another Bloodline segment. Reigns mentions that he is mad at the current events with like KO joining the show, Kevin Owens joining the show, and then Cody Rhodes and Jay even visiting SmackDown, and then Jimmy is in his locker room drinking water on his couch. It's like a weird turn of events for him. Jimmy then said, "You serious right now?" Roman Reigns then pauses, probably thinking like, "Damn, you know what? I better not lose the allies I have." Then he said, "Imagine if I was." And for some reason, I guess that was a cue to Jimmy. And then Jimmy says, "All right," something about he's gonna handle, which I'm guessing that's referring to LA Knight later on with Solo. And then when he's going out again, he says, "Yeet." And then Rose tells him to stop doing that. So with the yeet chant, right, I actually do strongly believe that they are actually playing towards something. Maybe Jimmy is gonna actually double cross Roman Reigns sometime soon. I'm not sure, so I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with that. But let's see what happens. Next up, we have a backstage with Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Nick Aldis. Chelsea proposes that since the titles are cursed, the ones that they currently have, they should redesign them with a new like style and make it look like stylish and classy. Aldis then mentioned, speaking of stylish and classy, he has another meeting with the camera panning over to Charlotte Flair. Karen Green then leaves saying, "Terrible first impression," so she's already gonna get on his bad page, and it's funny she went to him immediately, which was also funny. Aldis then mentions how he saw what happened, noting that like at Fastlane, noting that Charlotte should have been women's champion had the referee not been distracted. See, by the way, I called it. I told you guys in that Fastlane video at the end, I was like, I bet you that is gonna lead to Charlotte getting a sure enough rematch, and sure enough, after she says ref's call, what did Nick Aldis say? Comment down below. You already know, but I'm gonna say it in 3, 2. I keep doing that 3, 2, and something. 1. Charlotte Flair gets a solo one-on-one match with Io Sky, which we don't want to see. We really want to see Asuka versus Io Sky in a complete one-on-one for the WWE Women's Championship. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We already know what's gonna happen with that. She then walks out and she walks into Jade and Triple H who are coming in, and then they show like immediate tension, which was kind of exciting. So I'm hoping to see that. So I'm hoping that somehow, some way, if they're gonna have a match with each other, that would be nice. But you know, and I don't think they should give Jade champion right away, obviously. So I think that hopefully Charlotte won't win the title on Hook. Maybe even Jade can medal in it. We'll find out, right? Next up, we have Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus the A-Town Down Under for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Now, immediately Waller gets hit by Cody's like drop down punch and knee to the gut, and Rhodey kicks Waller then kicks Cody and then runs to tag in Theory. Cody almost like locks him into like a figure four Theory, so then Theory runs out of right immediately and tags Waller back in. It's like nobody wanted a piece of Cody tonight. Cody then tags in Jay, and then so Jay gets into the match. Waller then kicks Jay and then headbutts him. Like they have like a little head fight, and then he headbutts him, but then he forgets that you can't headbutt a Samoan, so he gets him instead. Jay then returns one of his own, and then he rolls Waller out of the ring. But then when Jay is about to run out to Waller, Theory catches him with a backbreaker to Jay. Jay then does his like J-Rock punches, but attacks Waller on the apron, and then because he gets distracted by Waller, he attacks him on the apron, and then Theory slams Jay into the ring post. Theory then stomps Jay onto the at the turnbuckle, and then when the ref pulls him off, Waller just kicks him in his side of the turnbuckle, like because they're on his side of the ring as well. Jimmy then rallies back after Theory tags in Waller, but then Theory does a back breaker with Waller, doing his like walking on the ropes and then like jumping like leg drop combo. Jay then comes back with an enziguri. Jay makes a hot tag to Cody, and then Waller makes a cold tag. I don't know what they call it, the heel version of the tag to Theory. Cody lands his the combo, then he lands his power slam and a disaster kick. He then tosses Waller outside, but then Waller tries to come back in doing his roll and drop to Cody, but then Cody lands another disaster kick on Waller this time. He landed on Theory earlier, by the way. Theory catches Cody with the move that he does when he does like the knee to the head, but like he crosses the legs. I forgot what they call it. But then for a 2 due to Jay breaking up. Waller then comes back and then he gets super kicked by Jay. Theory then tries to do the A-Town down to Jay, but then Jay escapes and lands another super kick, and that time is on Theory. Then they land the Cody 1D on the Theory, which Cody needs to be careful. He's gonna break his neck doing that move. So be careful, Cody, please. That landing is always kind of rough. Jay then leaps onto Waller on the outside, and Cody lands the crossroads on Theory for the win. As Cody and Jay walk out, Reigns' music hits, and then here comes out Solo and Jimmy first, and then eventually, like as they're staring each other down, Paul Heyman and Reigns comes out. Solo and Jimmy's focusing on each other, like they stare down on Jay, while Reigns stares down Cody, and they start talking a little smack, and then kind of gets broken up, and they don't fight; they just stare down. Next up, actually last but not least, the final match of the evening is Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight. Now Solo lands like a hard-hitting elbow onto LA Knight. He then tries for a suplex, but then Knight immediately flipped over, which is really cool, and then landed a beautiful neck breaker immediately, which is super fluid, but that was really cool. Solo and Knight then landed a crossbody onto each other, with Solo still standing at tall after that. Knight then takes control, and clothesline Solo out of the ring, and then lands like a running dropkick to the outside. Knight then tried to do like a suplex of the Solo from the apron, but then Solo lands like a hard punch and then tosses Knight into the ring post. Knight then tries to slam Solo, but then he elbows Knight, and then he falls on top of Knight for a 2 count. Solo lands a belly to belly for another 2 count. Solo then lands his running like I don't know, butt slash, a splash onto Knight on a turnbuckle. Knight then tried to rally back, but then Solo punched Knight again and tossed him into the ring turnbuckle again. Solo then tried to run into him, but then got elbowed by Knight, and then Knight jumped onto the top rope immediately and doing like a bulldog, which was really cool, and then he got that for a 2 count. Sikoa then landed like this really, really beautiful Samoan Knight. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that in. A beautiful Samoan drop on LA Knight for a 2 count. Solo then runs at Knight, but then Knight gets out of the way, making Solo hit his head into the ring post. They then get into like a punching exchange with Knight, which Knight wins. Knight lands a DDT, then stomps Solo at the turnbuckle. Knight then lands a running knee, and then he then tries to go for a second one, but then Solo recovers and then lifts Knight, but then gets caught by Knight's signature slam, and then he lands his LA Knight, yeah, elbow onto Solo Sikoa. Knight then goes for the BFT, but then Solo shoves him off, and then they both clothesline each other, so they both go down. Jimmy then runs out trying to interfere the match and maybe hit Knight with something, but then Cena comes out and then he lands an attitude adjustment on Jimmy, but as soon as he turned around, Solo Sikoa landed the Samoan spike right into Cena's neck, and it came out of nowhere, which was really wild. After that, Solo was doing his thing that he does. I can't do it right. Come on, camera, catch him up. They Knight just quickly turned around and did a BFT for the win. Now, as Knight was celebrating, out of nowhere came Roman Reigns, and he speared him, and then he was talking smack, and then he like held the undisputed WWE Universal Championship belt in the air, which ended SmackDown. Now, I think this SmackDown episode was another banger. Actually, this week WWE really showed up. Like, they really did good. It was a good Raw. I haven't really watched NXT much, but this time I did for the first time, and that was really great. Besides like here and there matches that I might have seen on the internet or whatever, or previous whatever. But I haven't really seen much NXT, so that was really cool. And then obviously SmackDown. I really do hope that this is the direction they're going to start taking with WWE, like fighting back. And I think a lot of it also plays a little bit with like the acquisition of Edge, so maybe they're a little bit salty about that. I don't know, from like AEW. But also I also noticed that from what I understand from the internet news and stuff, that Tony Khan was talking a lot of smack recently, so I think they're also trying to put him in his place. And he's trying to be direct competition for WWE, which I think is good. I think competition is good because I think that as long as WWE is on its toes, they're going to bring the best product. I always remember back in the day when it was SmackDown, not SmackDown, WCW versus WWE. That's when the Attitude Era started. And also, like, I've been noticing like the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, the product's becoming slightly more edgy. Am I the only one who noticed that or not? Anyway, do let me know in the comments down below. But actually, that is going to end this review of SmackDown for October 13th, 2023. So if you did like this content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. At the moment, I'm only at 5 subscribers still. Like I said, I think YouTube has me shadow banned, which really sucks. So I might even start hashtagging shadow banned because I'm shadow banned anyway. So I might start hashtagging that because it seems like I see a lot of people hashtag shadow banned, but they're actually not shadow banned because they have like 1 million likes on like on other websites. So I'm like, I'm gonna play on that too. But anyway, I'm going to end this video right now, so I do hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, my pickles and picklets. And from here, Spontaneously Pickled is out of here. Now it's video editing time. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good one. And also, for those of you, by the way, who actually watch my gaming channel as well, I do want to apologize in advance that last night was Friday the 13th, and unfortunately, I didn't do a video. I really do apologize. It's just been a really hectic day for me yesterday, and I just was not like in the place or mood to film. But I'm feeling a little bit better now. Not a lot, but a little bit better now. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna try to do something tonight if I have a chance and energy. If I don't go out, because I might have plans, I don't know. However, I'm gonna try if I really get a chance to do something big on Halloween, or at least close to that. So let's hope so. I would love to live stream, but I'm still nervous as heck about that because I'm still like I said, my channel's a shadow banned. This channel's stuck at 5 subscribers, and the other channel's stuck at 27 subscribers. So if you guys can definitely like show my content some love, I really would appreciate it, because right now, like I said, I'm just really like, this channel is like a dead channel, unfortunately. I do put a lot of effort into it, more than I should be for what I'm getting out of it. But, what can I say, right? Anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And once again, Spontaneously Pickled is out of here. See you later, Pickled Nation. See you soon.